Let me give you guys some exercises to be wary of first, then I'll give you exercises to avoid. So the exercises to be wary of, I think they're good exercises if they're done with good form, but many people, they don't do them with good form. So the exercises I'm talking about off the top of my head: squats, deadlifts, leg presses, because you could round your lower back in all of them potentially, and when you round your lower back and you add heavy weight, that's when it gets dangerous, because it's that inner layer can be pushing out on that outer layer now with a lot of pressure, and that can run into problems. So with squats, some people get that butt wink, their lower back rounds, not good. With deadlifts, the lower back can round, that's not good. And with leg presses, if you come down too far, your lower back can round, not good. So you want to keep your lower back straight on all of those. So those are some exercises to be wary of. Now let me talk about exercises that you should avoid. So first exercise that you really want to avoid: seated ab crunch machine. Because when you sit down for that exercise, pretty much you're already sitting down, so there's already pressure in your lower back, and then you come forward with heavy weight. That's not going to be good. If you go into that crunch position repeatedly, you're already in that seated position, and now you're adding that forward movement. It's a lot of stress on your lower back. I would avoid that because it's going to cause issues. People, they do like single arm deadlifts. That is probably the worst thing you could possibly ever do, because when you do that, it's a motor pattern you're not used to, number one. Number two, it's way too easy to round your lower back and twist at the same time. Rounding your lower back and twisting is the worst possible thing you could do. That's like the worst position to get a disc herniation, twisting and rounding. Never do that, with heavy weight especially. So yeah, definitely never ever do that. Another exercise you want to avoid: sit-ups, because when you do that, for one, sit-ups aren't an ab exercise, they're hip flexor exercise. So it's not what you think it is. And also, the main muscle, a major muscle you're using with sit-ups is your iliopsoas, your strongest hip flexor muscle, attaches directly to your spine and your lower back. So when you do that, it's really pulling on your lower back, you're rounding too, and it's going to cause issues over time. If you do sit-ups a lot, I would stop doing it. This can really cause issues in your lower back, so I'd stay away from that. Final exercise I'd be wary of is good mornings. Pretty much you have the bar on your back, and then you hinge from your hips, you come forward, and you come up. I just think it's too easy to go into a bad position with that exercise. There's too much potential to make a bad move, and it's already stress on your lower back, and if you do it wrong, yeah, you could really run into issues with that exercise. I would just stay away from it. So pretty much those are the exercises I would entirely avoid, and obviously you should be wary of